back to my channel. I'm so glad you stopped by today because today's a little bit different. We're going to be going over all of my favorite art supplies. I'm going to show you guys the pricings and where I usually get them. None of this is sponsored or anything. I just wanted to cover all the basics because I get a lot of questions and I wanted to inform you guys. Now the first product I'm going to go over with you guys is the clay that I like to use. I use Original Sculpey. I usually get the really big boxes. I think there's a box bigger than what I get, but I usually can't find it in stores. This one's the easiest to come by. I go to Hobby Lobby for this, and because it's like $26, I usually use their coupon because most of the time it's not on sale, and when it is, they usually have it 30% off. So I usually spend about $14 on this box of clay, and it lasts me maybe a month or two. Now the paint I like using is acrylic paint. I really don't have a preference per brand. I usually just go with what's cheapest. It really doesn't matter unless you're trying to get into more like studio quality grade or professional paints. So you can usually get what's cheapest. The only problem is you gotta be careful because some like getting really sticky even after they dry. This is why I like using resin on my paints because sometimes they're just tacky and I don't like it. Now the resin that I use is a crystal clear casting resin. It's just a craft quality resin. If you're going to go for something more like advanced, you'll want to probably get something at a hardware store or something, but this is basically what I need for what I use. I get it in the modeling section of my local art store. Usually it's pretty cheap. Again, I like using coupons for these things, so they're usually cheaper than the marked sticker price. Now I like using a lot of different gems in my clay when I'm baking. I'll get glass pieces, crystals, all kinds of different precious stones. They're really fun to work with in adding color to the piece and a different texture. I've gotten these from all different places, different art stores, Hobby Lobby, eBay's really good for different things like this, and even other Etsy sellers I like to get their stuff as well. It's usually just whatever is really pretty. This I just recommend finding what you like for a better price. I find a lot of stuff really well priced on eBay. Now one thing I like to do if I want to give my creature an earring or a nose ring or something like that, I like to use these little rings here. They're really fun. These are actually for chainmail making. You can get them really cheap. I got all of this for probably, I think, $10 or something years ago, and I've never made a dent in it. So you can get a lot smaller amounts if you want. This is something you'll probably find on Etsy or eBay really well. Now for the wire frames, I need two different types of wire for this. The first one is the main wire, which is a 14 gauge galvanized steel wire. I get this at my local hardware store. I can't find it anywhere in art stores or anything like that. So you'll probably need to go to a Lowe's or an Ace nearby you. I've bought them from both stores, so they do usually have them, and I get a really big bundle for like $8. It's really cheap and you can make quite a bit amount of creatures out of it. The other wire I'm actually out of, so I don't have a picture of it, but basically it's just a craft grade wire. Anywhere between 18 to 22 gauge will work just fine, and a spool of it is about $3 or $5. Now for sewing, I don't use a normal sewing thread. I like to get embroidery thread. It's a lot thicker and sturdier, and it tends to not snap because I pull a lot on my thread. I tend to snap it a lot, so I like using something just a little thicker and stronger. I usually get this at Walmart or Hobby Lobby or really whatever art store I'm at because it's super cheap. If I can, I'll get bundles of it that have multiple colors, but if I need a particular color, it's like 30 cents for one color. Now I like using felt a lot to make scales or feathers, or it works really well for the inside parts of ears. I usually get this at Walmart or Hobby Lobby, and it's super cheap. It's usually like 33 cents a piece of felt, so you can usually have one piece of felt. If you're just using it for like ears, you could probably make like 10 ears out of one piece of felt. Now for the fur fabric, I usually always go online for this because it's cheaper and there's so many more color options than if you go to the store. You'll still spend quite a bit of money no matter where you go. Just hunt around for the best price because you'll probably spend anywhere between $20 to $50 for a yard of fur fabric. Now fur fabric can come in a bunch of different kinds of ways. You can get really long fur fabric. Sometimes this even comes curly. You can get kind of short, shaggy looking stuff. The kind that I really like working with is not really long or really short. It's just right in the middle, and usually it's the thicker kind, so it's better for shaving if you want to shape your fur around the legs and stuff like that. And then if you want to go really short, This stuff works really well. I don't even know if it counts as fur fabric. This is where you'll probably spend the least amount of money because sometimes this is between $7 and $14 a yard. Okay guys, and these are the main materials that I like working with. I really hope this video was super helpful for you guys. If you have any other questions at all, leave them down below. I'll be happy to answer them. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!